I will say good morning to those of you who just signed in. I guess I'm a little early. People are not here yet. But if you are coming or thinking about it, come on along. We're going to talk about love today. How to help yourself discover it. What level of love we're talking about. And that sort of thing. So, yep, I'm still a little early. So sorry. All right. So today's Wednesday. Usually I channel someone today, and the person that I am going to channel, we'll see if someone shows up, is a Tibetan monk from Thailand. They all wear orange there. And what we found when we would speak to them, they were very normal like people. I know your first thought is probably something very different than that. We actually were told how a few of them had left as Western people were coming there to go and get jobs in California and other places because when they're young, they're sent to the monastery to become a monk. And it wasn't until they started meeting people like us that they recognized there was yet another world out there where they would fit in. A lot of computer people that the one that we all were very close to that worked with our group was one that was preparing to leave to California also. So things aren't always as you think they are or see them. So today we're going to talk about love in a different way. And I'm sure that everyone right now, oh yeah, I know the definition of love. And I'm not sure that on a spiritual level that you do. Love is your goal. It is the path of the person on that journey to discover the love of you. And in that, you are discovering the love of Christ, the masters, that which they all base their understanding on. And why can I say that isn't what we do? We only have to take a look in our world to see how many people are not honoring themselves and being in self-love, who empower others, who want something from other people, who change their behavior to get something, who maybe have a dream and can't and don't know a way to follow it. Well, understand that not knowing how to follow it only comes because you don't allow yourself to let your heart show you how that could be. You have given some of that greater love to another person, perhaps to a family, versus knowing that if you could follow your heart, all that you really need would always come to you. And that's why in spirituality we call this humble love. Because people think that to love themselves is not acceptable. not a power that um, they desire to have. And truly, it's what we're asked to do, is to learn the humbleness of love. So I'm going to read here from DK. A lot of people become the extrovert of the heart type instead of being the introvert of the head type. The way you release in the way of love and in the note of love should color all your meditations. Proceed, therefore, carefully to follow all instructions, remembering that for you, he seeks to avoid all emphasis on the form side. The subject of your meditation could be summed up in the following phrases. And I'll read that to you. But I know in our world, we don't think of love first. We think of managing, having food, doing a good job at work, being acceptable. Understand, even that statement is not allowing you to accept yourself. Good morning, Barbara Ward. Glad someone came. So I'm talking about love from the heart today and how that looks and how it needs to be the path of love, the most important food that we give ourselves to grow. So let me read a pledge here that Master DK has written about love. I pledge myself to the path of love. I demand of my soul that I, the spirit in form, shall act as a channel for compassion and an instrument for love until I know myself to be love itself. I am that love. With pure intent I serve. This love and zeal in me must feed the aspiration of my fellow men. To this in knowledge full I pledge myself. Your gift to this group is fiery, it's dynamic, zealous aspiration, which is the spiritual quality which governs your personality. Good morning, Carol Bell. Thank you for coming back. So we're talking about love first and foremost inside ourselves, and then our perception in the world, because thoughts are things. So if we can begin to hold love in this higher order within ourselves, people will hear it, feel it, and perhaps have a greater capacity of changing how they're seeing love, whether it's in the family, whether it's at work, or just in the community. You see? So I'm going to bring a monk from Thailand here, and he's going to speak. And his awareness in seeing people from America come and how different we hold ourselves than what they see and have been taught about love. And I don't know if the two of you heard me already. A lot of the monks we met when we were in Thailand, and this is like 94, 95, 96, a lot of them were leaving being a monk to come live in America, whether they had a great ability in computer stuff or whatever. They were not aware of their capacity could do a lot for them. And in that way, they will have an opportunity to meld with people to also let them see and feel how truth is. So let's see what he has to say to you today. And I do appreciate you coming. All right. Good morning. It brings great satisfaction within my soul to be able to spread the awareness that many of us here in our gatherings, in our chanting, in our prayers, the understanding of that which appears to be set aside by so many where you live in America. Love is spoken, it's talked about, it's even claimed. And yet, true love within the self, not even family love, we're speaking here of the love within you. And it is when you have that love, it radiates in all you do. There is honoring, there is a caring, and there is a loving fact that every action you make, you have it come from a love within your chakra system. Your perception through your third eye is humbled in its interaction of definition when it gets spoken inside your head. It is different. So I hope on this day, my communication with you can begin to allow you to stop and to be aware of your brain and how it moves either away from or more inward into the love. The heart we speak of, the love I speak of is not solely found within the heart. It is found within the brain, the feeling nature. For when you give your heart love to someone else, it usually has condition. When you give love from the brain, what once was personality will become your pledge. So let's contemplate that for a moment. What do I mean by personality? Personality is that part of us which in each and every person is different, but it's how it stands tall or short in its actions intermingling within the world and with other personality. On the other hand, the humble love, as it is within the self, honors and speaks only truth and has a wispy understanding as the canoe rides down through the water and sees the trees shining as the sun comes down through them and knows there's peace. It isn't that it needs to be shown peace. It exists within this place within you where you can daily take this journey and hear the water next to the canoe and know that you are going the path of truth, the path of love. It doesn't require another person. It doesn't require an action, but to surrender. A life of surrender can invoke many things. In your world, we see it invoke anger at not being heard or not having a voice, anger of being shunned or put into a group. This is not surrender. Surrender is when the humble love can exist and be and look with simplicity, and yet so endearing it is infinite. There are those people who you can feel send you compassion, not always from their heart, but their mind and heart. There is a union, and that they have found love and know love. So many different discussions we could have on this way of trying to help bring you a clarity about that which, as we all sit from a young child, meditating throughout the day, chanting throughout the day, it is for us to focus on humble love. The love that exists without having to be anything but being, without having to do anything special, but being that which God gave us, a humble love. So perhaps for you, it will begin to have you every day lie in the canoe and let yourself drift down the waterway. Hear it lapping up against the level of the canoe. This is just you alone. And see the gentle wind blowing the trees and moving into acceptance. This is the truth of who I am. This is the simplicity of life. This is how I walk upon the earth. And you will find a peace that allows you a love that will always be there, that no one can ever take away. No one can't struggle with you about it because it is yours. No one can ever throw dirt upon that love because it is protected in the light of God. So let me ask Barbara, Carol, good morning, Marianne, if you have any questions about my attempt to have you see the difference in the self-love, that if you're on your path, you are working towards accomplishing that so that you can become a greater help in this world of releasing, of being a carrier of the truth. Any questions? Okay, I'm seeing there's 4 people. There must be one more person. All right. Our monk friend left. So let's see who else is coming to talk to us today. I'm going to let Mother speak. For it is a time that you've all heard, change is coming. And it is not always that it's required for you to change. You, each of you, differently and at different times, have chosen where you are in your world and your life. But because your world and around you is going to change, it need not be a change inside you if you've been working on discovering the humility of love. It is more so that at this time that you are more required to be present. Yes, I agree. That's exactly what we're talking about today. Many things, many things. And there's no need to give the energy from my heart to it, but I want to give the truth from my heart, which is a humble love for you to share with others. So much as the monks, when they were in Thailand with TheoSophia, made choices, how were they going to be an example of the truth, the love, without the ego, without the personality, without the fight with others, this, that, do this, do that, what's better, what's worse. Do you see? All these things are not humble love. Yes. Thank you, Marianne and Barbara. You both put it in really good words. But there is a beacon of awareness going out to so many. And it is why many of you have been guided to uplift and raise your energy and develop your consciousness to a new level of awareness where there's not need, that you can truly begin to become aware that all you need is within you. It's awakening it. It's allowing it to become truth. Good morning, Lauren. Glad you made it. So once again, Master Babaji comes in. It is the power within your love that you have been given the gift to say my name 3 times and ask for me to come to you. Simple, yes, and yet true. Love is so powerful for many of you. You are not yet sure of that which you can do with it. And yet, if you think about it, you all do not want to live without it. So I encourage you to allow yourself quiet time and ask your love to come and to embrace you and to show you the love in the mind, the love in the heart, and some would say the love that's within the belly. That's the earth love. It is not necessary that you require anyone else to be where you are, for then it isn't loving. It is more for people to discover these things within themselves. Love. And I'm not sure you were all here, but I read earlier a pledge from DK. And let me read it again to you. I pledge myself to the path of love. I demand of my soul that I, the spirit in form, shall act as a channel for compassion and an instrument for love until I know myself to be love itself. I am that love. With pure intent I serve. This love and zeal in me must feed the aspiration of my fellow man. To this, in knowledge full, I pledge myself. This is a gift. We don't need permission. We need to allow ourselves to be awake, aware, and to fulfill that our love is a loving love, and one that we so appreciate within ourselves that then we demonstrate the love of who we are. No need to save it, for it is overflowing. Once you find it, there will be no lack. Good morning, Marby. Glad you came. So, love can be so simple, but as we all know, and as we are working through traumas, karma, friends, those who aren't friends, if and when we can learn to hold the love, then we have begun to see that we have accomplished our task. When we get disturbed or upset is when we are still on our journey. Doesn't mean it's wrong, but you want to embrace the path of light, the path of love. For it is really the one we are all on. And in that, you have all these soldiers of the monk who spoke earlier, Master Babaji. So many of them are waiting to be participant in, if I may say it this way, the war of love. There are so many thoughts that work against it, the have-tos and the have-nots. When in truth and love, we all have what we need. And as we can attain it, it will shower itself even stronger within us. Thank you, Marianne. She's going to write it down as a mantra. And I do think it's a good mantra, because if you have become willing to be in service, what you put out through that powerful consciousness is powerful, because it will become not just simply for yourself, but for other fellow men and women and for the universe. And that's where I began today. That's what we need to look at, because we are on the cusp of transformation. And we do not want it to be in the anger or disturbance. We want it to be in the loving and the caring and gentleness that we truly are existent in within the brain and the heart. And why do I say the brain like that? Because it's going to come forward, and it is coming forward, that the pathways in the brain can be changed. So let's say you're an angry person. If you can, let's say, do something, start smacking two pans together out of anger until you tire of it, then your brain will learn, well, where do I want to go instead? And think of happiness. You have changed that pattern from picking up the pan and having to make a disturbance to the next time, however you saw happiness will come. Try it out. It's a miracle. There are going to be many, many miracles. So, even how we feel about people. Maybe for a moment, if you have someone you're upset with, write it down. I used to write all the time, I'm angry, I'm angry, I'm angry. I'm angry about this. I don't get angry anymore, because that pathway that used to be one of my first jumps eludes itself. It's now reprogrammed with a different way of firing in my mind. It doesn't take me there. More so, I used to do it when I walked. If you're someone with a lot of pain, you can go walk every step. I feel no pain. I feel no pain. I had like 3 car accidents and 3 cars hit me. And I don't have pain today. Not for a long time. But again, that's why I add the mind with the heart, is how those firings that occur within the brain can be rerouted and redeveloped. I have nothing to be angry about. I'm a child of God, and all his light pours over and through me to support myself, my love, and all whom I touch and reach out to. So today is about an encouragement for each of you, perhaps as you first discover what some of those old loving ways that you would think love was are, and begin to transform them, whether you write about them, whether you walk and say it, whether you say it every day. It actually creates a new program in your mind that you then reach for in that situation. So, Marianne, you'll be able to see that as you do that mantra. That's why decrees from the Saint Germain era are so powerful. And when Doug and I met, he was a real Saint Germain person. We had sheets and sheets of mantras and decrees. And we were finally told we were doing too many. We had to give our brain time to bring about a shift. So maybe pick 5, but do them every day. Thoughts, whether it's a thought, whether it's however you want to write it, the brain's going to start taking it in. So it's like a magic. Now, if I go that would something have made me angry, it's just not there. I go to think of how I can help or what can I do to make someone happy. Thank you, Carol Bell, for coming, and Dream Tooth for coming. It's a powerful thing, and I think it's perfect timing now to begin to enable people to understand how we're truly made and what we can do with it. There is no end. There's going to be a whole new level of beings, not just here in America, but all around the world, and maybe even out in the extraterrestrial realm. But it can all be loving. Have you ever let yourself have that thought? All people are loving. It's just a brain thing that if it says, oh no, they're angry, or oh, they'll hurt me, we need to stop that. Because as we begin it, it will begin to filter out and it will become so. Don't let your brain be such a mystery to you now. You know, when those monks are doing something and it's over and over again, they're doing exactly what I'm telling you. They're transforming their brain and their reaction and finding peace and love. You can do the same thing. You all may have different ways and different things, but you need it. But a peaceful life, a loving life, where you will now know that you are the love you're looking for. You heard that statement before? I am the love I'm looking for. I've heard people laugh when I've said that. And yet the truth is, we must find the love for ourselves. Yeah. And what will that bring? For me, the word happiness comes, you see. That's what I've put in there. I'm going to be very happy, and I can see a meadow and all the flowers. This is what you can do also. Let me see what Barbara says. Yeah. Well, and it's okay if some are still working on self-love. It's a journey. It's becoming a master of a lot of things inside of you. But today, I'm adding sharing. And thoughts are things. We don't want to just throw them out. For a long time in America, our thoughts are just, let's just throw those out. Yeah, some people caught them, tried to make it so. But today we have to be more responsible and know they'll find their way to where they need to be. And to support our lives and allow the love we hold within ourselves to come to fruition. It's not saying any one of us has to get up in front of a group and say anything. Let's all try using our brains and empowering the love we do have inside our hearts. Mother, Father, Christ, they're all right there holding it. And it will be powerful then to send it out. And we can watch it boomerang around the world. And it'll be powerful. Any questions? A little bit different for Wednesday, but I'm going with what's coming. And I have a group of extraterrestrials I work with from the Pleiades, and they're all just nodding. They understand. You know, they're the ones that are holding us all in protection, not just America, but all the countries, because the warring part in our world is overwhelming. And they're doing what I'm talking about to stop it from hurting millions of people. So we'll be grateful for that. But as we do, we want to become co-participants in beginning to know that we are the creators of our world. And that's from our heart and our brain. Passageways that need to be yet built and follow versus what we've been creating from warful times in our world, you see. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So, we have a busy week ahead of us. Labor Day. I will still be here at 11 on Labor Day. Hopefully some of you will also. Yes, because the love we all hold is important. We need to get it out there. And that's true. Love is the only way forward. The healer's journey. What about extraterrestrial and the Pleiades? I assume you're saying the Pleiades. It's not the right spelling, but that's all right. When I began to become spiritual, believe it or not, I saw a book named Thea, little paperback, and it talked about how the Pleiades lived, macro and micro. But ever since then, we also are very close to the Andromedans. We have the spiritual large gate that when you sit in it, your consciousness grows. So at this time, the Pleiadians are coming in. I've just done a 6-series infusion. I'm going to do 2 more 6-series. Another 6 for the people who just experienced it, and then do the first one over again for people. It's amazing the shifts that people had and how they feel. The intent is so different than other infusions I had. It's about growing. It's about increasing consciousness. It's about heightening the greater love, exactly what I'm talking about today, within each person. So I see they've all been here for thousands and thousands of years. There is nothing to be frightened of. They're wanting to help. And it is true, they are going to be showing themselves, but they are showing themselves to me and to others. And you can hear the love in it. A greater love keeps moving with me, and that is how it's meant to be. The love will continue to expand and heighten and flow like a river. So it's all exciting. And Asha, who is the major one that speaks, and we go to a healing temple in the infusions, and it's like a turquoise gold stone glowing. And it's very powerful, very powerful. So what else here? Oh, you're welcome. I will tell them that you all seem to be a little excited about it, and it is good. It is a good thing. Actually, the Andromedas, who is the person who at one time sold the gate and got gates around the country, she's now gone, and we are all pretty sure my husband's doing work to connect with the Andromedas, that she's there. So don't let the future be scary. God loves you, and wherever you are, if you're feeling at peace and your heart is opening even more, then know it's truth. All right? Any other questions? Good. Because when you go inside your heart and you think of the word love and you think of humble love, what it does is it expands in consciousness. It will make that heart chakra even more. Humble freedom, even more. It is the humility that we're looking for. No mistake that even the people on Skinwalker are finding, like the other reader says, it's a Palladian ship from a long time ago. There's no any reason to hide it anymore. We are visited and being experienced by the Palladians, their friends. There's many. There's Syrians, there's Andromedas. I can't remember them all at this point. My mind's in a different place. But anybody else have another question before I close? Yes, Marianne is one who did the 6 infusions with the Palladians. And how are you feeling today, Marianne? I know it takes a while. And when we were in Thailand, we learned, and both of us became initiators of the Babaji heart mantra, which I'm also going to be offering. Good. Yeah, if you had seen and met Marianne before, she is like 3,000 or more than who she was. Would you agree, Marianne? And I don't like putting a number on it, but it's to emphasize she's just so much more. Everyone's feeling so much more. Can't wait for the next classes. Yeah. Hopefully that's going to get sent out to everyone today on a blast, not on my site. We might put it both places. But, and some other things I'm doing, like the Mamaji Heart Mantra changed our lives. I came home, got divorced, and married Doug. And I wasn't looking for anyone. I was happily married when I left. It was just, that's what happened. So, TH, don't know what that means. So, a lot of people changed their lives. People who were bank investment people were going out and teaching children in San Francisco. So, it doesn't have to change your life, but it will change you, is what I should say. I don't want to scare you. But it helped us find a deeper love than we could without it. And yeah, flowers. Yeah. It's interesting because one of the main places that we visited when we were in Thailand was a village, and they had their main monk, and he died. And they knew he was going to die, so they made a wax figure of him. And they have the pictures like a rainbow. You want to understand rainbows. The rainbow of the light went into the waxed figure when he died. So we were given permission to sit down and talk to him. Now you got to know, he talked back. It was, our hearts really opened in another level to believe. You have to believe. So then they take us over where his dead body is. And he looks as alive as you and me. He only was missing a left foot. So we saw pictures of his rainbow energy coming out into the wax figure. We could go speak to the wax figure, and he talked back. And then we saw him in a glass casket where he was living there alive. Yes, we experienced many things for this time and period that we're in. So you can believe me. So let's see. Yeah, more are going to come, and I'm going to answer every question. And we're going to become aware of our own wings. And perhaps God, in his own way, is going to let you know that he's come closer to you. How's that sound? Very good. So have a good weekend. I will be here on Monday at 11. And since it's not a work day, maybe I'll be able to get Doug to come on with me. I don't know that you've all met him or not. So many blessings. And if you're not going to make it on Monday, happy 4th of July. And enjoy your weekend. Because we have a lot of loving work to do. It's not going to be hard. It's loving and happy work, joyful. Like we worked the other day, silence and joy. Do you remember on Monday? Whew. This is where we're at. Love to all of you. Many blessings.